Hello and welcome, and thank you for checking out my live stream. We said we were going to do it on Thursday, but I'm going to hop on here and we're going to try to do some more live streams for you. And what we're going to do is go back and sort of piggyback off of what we were talking about in class and go back and explore that a little bit more. So let's see if we can see this. All right, thank you for checking out our stream. Thank you for being part of it. We're going to look at the particular scan that we were just talking about in class, and you can join us in class by going to biofeedbacksuccess.com and /weekly training, and you will be part of our class. Anyone can join, so we thank you in advance for checking out our class. So I'm trying to find the actual screen share here. And there we go. All right. So we're trying out something new, which is streaming live to YouTube. This one is right after our class that we had today. And let's see if we can get this to share correctly. So I'll take any comments, any questions that you have. We're going to try to share the Genius here online. And let's go ahead and see if we can do that. So we had a question today in class, and the question today in class was, how do I use assessment and solutions in the libraries? For those of you who don't know about the Genius, go to geniusbiofeedback.com to learn more. We have lots of free training for you to learn more about what the Genius is and how to use it. There we go. Okay. So this is the Genius screen, and we're looking here at our custom libraries. If we go back to the system overview, we tapped on libraries in order to see what we could see. Let's see if we have the ability to show some things here. Okay, let's see if we can use an arrow maybe. Okay, good. So we're going to go down here to the libraries, and we're just going to talk about assessment and solution. This will be a fast live stream. Just want to hop on here and do some live streams more often and bring you some quick training and some training tips and updates, okay? So if we go to our libraries, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at the thyroid libraries. And many libraries have assessment and solutions. The Genius is an energetic tool that looks at the energetic field and is in no way connected to any type of diagnosis or medical advice at all, but we're looking at the energetic resonances or impressions of the field. And as we look at this, we're looking at the thyroid assessment. The reason we use an assessment is to raise our awareness of what could possibly be going on in the thyroid. So as we look at this, we see conversion issue of T4 to T3. That is something we explore in our Natural Health Mastery course. And if you go to geniusbiofeedback.com, you can learn all about the thyroid and what all of this means in our Natural Health Mastery course on thyroid, adrenals, and hormones. And then it says an emotional issue, parathyroid gland, the HPA axis. All of these things give us hints as to why the thyroid might not be optimally balanced. Then we can go down here and we can say, oh, a neck injury. This could be a blockage in the neck. It could have been a whiplash, which changes the curvature of the neck. Could be a lot of different things. Mercury toxicity could be from some time when the person had silver fillings. All of these things may be part of what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put all of the blue items into the tray. So we just open up the tray here. Let's clear this out. Let's talk about a couple of ways that we could do this. So assessment, you could run all the items of assessment first and then bring in the solutions, or you could run assessment and solutions together. There's no worry about using assessment and solutions in the same tray because they all have the same goal. Everything is being harmonized. Everything is being cleared. Everything is being brought back to its optimal frequency. So there's no conflict in using assessment and solutions together, but it might be easier to do assessment first and then solutions. Let's go ahead and gather up all of the blue items down in the lower tray, all of the red items, and let's even include some of the ones that are below 200. So this is a way that you can learn from the assessment panel and also do a balancing. We're then going to bring in the flower essences because those are the emotions, and we're going to couple them with the different things that have maybe made the thyroid imbalanced. So let's go ahead and bring in our flower essences. So we're going to bring in our red items and bring in our blue items, and then we're going to go to progressive insights. So in this case, we're going to separate thyroid assessment and thyroid solutions and do them separately. So here we have gentian, conversion of T4 to T3, wild oat, interference field, and reverse T3. So we're just going to balance those items for a minute. Let's see if we can turn that down. All right, we're going to have to figure out the sound situation here. Okay, turn that off. We would go ahead and balance those. So what we're looking at there is gentian, which we just did in class, which was discouragement after a setback. So if you think about the energy not flowing through the thyroid, there's always an emotional reason. There's always an emotional, underpinning for this. And so with the gentian, we want to clear out. It's interesting that it came up as a top emotion. Conversion of T4 to T3 is often due to a sluggish liver or inflammation in the digestive system. So we may want to go back and look at libraries for the digestive system or for the liver. Wild oat, we'll have to look up wild oat, but another emotion. So there's a lot of emotional charge related to the thyroid being imbalanced. And then we see interference field. There could have been a head injury or something happened to the neck, or even if you just, if you've ever fallen and hit your head. Now, who has not at least fallen sometime and hit their head? This could have created what's called an interference field, which changes the meridian, changes the energy in a significant way that often wants to be cleared. So it's interesting that these emotions are so connected to the thyroid, and that's what we're really discovering with this prioritization test. Let's see if we can get in here and learn about wild oat. We know all about sowing your wild oats, right? There's definitely an association with the energy of oat. So, all right, so wild oat, uncertainty and direction in one's life, finding passionate renewal to pursue your dreams, releases back pain and the stress of overwork. So we've got discouragement after a setback and also this wild oat. And these are all then related. These are all then related in some way to what's going on with the thyroid. So we'd run that for 1 minute. Then we would return back to the tray, the main whole tray, clear that out. And then we could incorporate the energy of solutions. So if we go back to the libraries and we go to thyroid, and from here, we can look at the thyroid solutions. So we go to thyroid solutions, and now it gives us, so now we've cleared out all of the causative factors, all of the contributors. Now let's look at the different factors that are related to solutions. So we only run the frequencies, but this gives us hints. These are hints that we could not take as direct recommendations, but they give us hints that we could further look up and research and learn about. We could run the frequency of nascent iodine. Now, iodine, very important. The thyroid hormone is called triiodothyronine. It has that iodine in there. And in fact, we have receptors for iodine all over the body. So iodine, very significant in making sure that the thyroid itself is running properly. Selenium is related to supporting the immune system, but also significant in thyroid function. Vitamin A, CoQ10, and magnesium, all very, very important solutions for thyroid function. So we're going to include them now in the main whole tray. And interesting, so CBD oil from hemp, CBD oil from cannabis, this is not the actual experience of it, but the frequency of it, and calling us to look further into these solutions to see if we want them in some supplement form. What these 3 items are so significant is resveratrol is a supplement that's used that has resveratrol in it. all three of those, what they indicate to us is that there's too much likely inflammation going on, because these all help to reduce inflammation. When we reduce inflammation, we often help the thyroid to work better, especially if there's Hashimoto's or an autoimmune condition involved. So really, really fascinating. So now we can also see kelp. This is something that contains the iodine and other important minerals. That's coming up, sort of borderline. We're going to go back and we're going to do the same thing that we did before. Now we're going to add in, once again, our our Bach flower essences. So let's add them in by using our bulk drag function. So we added them all to the tray. And let's add in a few other things. Let's add in some minerals. Those are very important. Look at that iodine coming up again. Silica and boron as well. Let's see what's down at the bottom, strontium and phosphorus. So these could also be considered to be solutions. Let's go to the top of the tray. And interestingly enough, silica. So silica is for hair, skin, and nails. I'm not sure exactly why it's coming up in our quest to balance the thyroid, but it's if you look into nettles, nettles are very high in silica. Silica is a very often deficient mineral that not enough of us get enough of. Star of Bethlehem, clearing out past trauma. Phosphorus, red chestnut, CBD, cherry plum, and gentian. So there's a lot of emotional charge in the thyroid that's asking to be released. That's why it's so important to include the flower essences, so because they give us that energy of being able to release all of that. So Star of Bethlehem, releasing past emotional trauma, things that happened in childhood, things that shocked the body or somehow locked trauma into the body. The mineral phosphorus, red chestnut, iodine, CBD, cherry plum, gentian. Let's see what red chestnut says for us using the success cards here. Red chestnut, releasing anxiety. Releasing anxiety is red chestnut. So something about anxiety may be short-circuiting or affecting the thyroid in some way. So now we would play these frequencies for 1 minute. Once again, I'm having trouble with the microphone coming from this. We're going to hear the frequencies, which is good, but it may be too much you may not be able to hear my voice. So this video is really, stop this. This video is really about being able to understand how to use the assessment function and the solutions function. In this particular video, we showed you how to use them separately, and using the assessment to kind of learn more about what's going on, but also to kind of clear the deck, clear the causative factors, and then move in and begin to entrain the energy of the solutions. Now we can do an after aura. Let's take a look at what happens after running the frequencies to the aura. And this is going to be a short stream, so we'll wrap it up in just a moment. You can join me for more live streams. I'll let you know in our newsletter when those are going to happen. So go to geniusbiofeedback.com and sign up for our newsletter to get the updates of the latest live streams and other events that we have. And if you've never tried the Genius, you can use the 14-day download menu to download the Genius and give it a try. All right, no obligation, no credit card. So here we're ending up with a very, very beautiful aura. Look at all of the rose and magenta colors coming in. We are getting to an experience of balance through the use of the frequencies. Thank you for joining me for this live stream. It's Dr. Ariel Policano. Have a great day, everyone.